Hi everyone, my name's Andy Robertshaw. Today I'm going to be looking at Daily Killer Su Doku, puzzle number 30440. That's 30440. Okay, this is level 10. On the Facebook Daily Killer Sudoku group, somebody mentioned they were struggling with this one. So I'm going to walk through it now. I have solved it once. I'm going to try and remember what I did and hopefully walk through it. So as ever, I'm going to start with cages that just have a couple of options. So 5 is 1 plus 4 or 2 plus 3. The 22 cage is 5, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 9. The 15 cage there is 6, 9 or 7, 8. I've got a 38 cage here. So it seems to be a bit of a theme of recent ones. Big cages just missing a few numbers. So 38 cage of size 6 is missing a total of 7 from 3 digits. So it's missing 1, 2 and 4. It has to have all the rest in it. So I'll put all the rest as candidates. A 6 cage there, which is 1, 5 or 2, 4. A 5 cage there, 1, 4 or 2, 3. I've got 2 rows and an extra cell there. 97, so that's 7 more than 90, 7 there. So that 15 cage is now 6, 9. And also I can eliminate 7 from here. These tend to be symmetrical, so by rotation, I've got 2 columns and an extra cell adding up to 96. So 6 more than 90, 6 there. I can rule out 6 from those 2. I can rule out 6 from any of those. In fact, if this 22 cage is going to be 6, 7, 9, I need the 6 to be there. So I couldn't have the 7 there. So that's and if it's 5, 8, 9, of course, it doesn't contain a 7. Right. What else can I do? So I've got 28 from 6 there. So I must have 17 from those 3. But I can't use 6 or 7. I've got 6 and 7 already. If I don't use 8 or 9, I've got 3, 4, 5. That's only 3 plus 4 plus 5 is only 12. That's far from being enough. I can't have both the 8 and the 9 because that's 17 already with another one to add. So I've got 1 of 8 and 9. So if I've got 9 there, I've got to have 8 more to go with it. So 9, 3, 5. I'll do this one first, and I'll do this one. So I could have 3, 5, 9. Or if I've got 8 there, I need a total of 9 to make it up to 17. It has to be 8, 4, 5. So 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Got to remember as well that I've got a 5. Whether I've got 3, 5, 9 or 4, 5, 8, I've got a 5 in one of those 3. So I don't have a 5 there. So I've definitely got 1 and 2 with 3, 9 or 4, 8. But not a 9 there because I've got 1 in the column. Okay, let's have a look now. I've got a couple of columns here with 1 sticking out and 1 missing. So if I add those up, I've got 98 there. That's good, isn't it? So 98 means the difference of this one and this one is 8. So that minus that is 8. That has to be a 9. That has to be a 1. So no 9's there. No 9 there. And also this 5 cage is 2 and 3. So no 3 there. What can I have in this 10 cage? Not 9 and 1. So I could have 2 and 8. 3 and 7. Or I could have 4 and 6 with 4 on the top. I've got a 6 there already. Okay, what else? So I'll do this 11 cage now. So I've got 1 already. I could have 2 and 8, but they'd have to go that way round because I've got a 2 there. Also got a 3 there, so 3 and 7 that way round. Or 4 and 6 either way round. Right. If I have a look at this one, from memory this one isn't particularly interesting. 92, so that one's 2 more than this one. In fact, it's more interesting than at first it may look. So that being 2 more than that, so I flashed over that quickly, but that's 92. So this is 2 more than this. But this isn't 6, 7 or 9. So 3, 4, 5, 8 is all it could be. It's got to be 2 more than that one. So 1, 2, 3, 6 there. I'll do the 8 cage, 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, 5. And the 12 cage here, well, I'm a bit limited for options on that one. So what could I have here? So if it's 5 and 7, they'd have to go that way round. 4 and 8 either way, but I've got a 9 there. So it has to be 3 and 9 that way round. In fact, what I remember, the 9 in this, I can't have a 9 there in this 11 cage. The 9 in this box must be one of those two in the 24 cage, because I've got a 9 there. So 9 is one of those two, not 9 there. That one's 6, that one's 9. So no 9s there. Right, let's have a look at this set now. 43, so these two are 2 more than this one. I've got 1, 2, 3 there, so it's nothing less than 4. I also couldn't have a 9 there, because I need 2 to go with it. I've got to have at least 3 to go with it, which would be, well, what 1 and 2? If I've got 3, it'd be 1 and 2. So 8, 1, 2. So 8's the biggest I could have there. Let's have a quick look at this now. What happens with each of these? Can I rule anything out? So if I've got 8 there, I'd have to have 2, 1, 3, 2. So I've got 8, 2, 1. So not 8 and 2 there, but I still got other options. Let's put that in then. 7, I'd have to have 3 and 1. It'd have to be that way round. So 7, 3, 1, 2, 3. So again, not 7, 3 there. I've still got options. That's fine. 6, I've got 2 and 3 there. So I couldn't also have 2 and 3 there. That would be a deadly pattern. In fact, it would eliminate all options for that 10 cage anyway. No 2s, no 3s, and no 6s would eliminate all my options. So 6 would have to be 1 and 4. So that cell's looking rather good for a 1 from what I've considered so far. 5 would have to be 2 and 4. Can I put those either way round? So 5, 2, 4, 3, 7, 5, 8. 1, 6. That seems all right. So 2, 4 either way round with a 5 there. And finally 4, I need 7 there, which won't be 4 and 3. Could I have 6, so 6, 1 or 5, 2. I'm not going to have 5 and 2 there. If I've got 5 and 2 there to go with a 4, then that's 6 and 7. I've got a 2, a 6 and a 7. That would eliminate all the options for the 10 cage. So 4 would have to go with 1 and 6. Okay, let's do additionally this one as well. So 4, 1, 6. I need a total of 6 there, but I've got, so these two are 2 more than this one. If I got 4, 1, 6, and 2 more than 4 is 6, it would have to be 2 and 4. If I got 5 there, 2, 4, I'd have to have 1 and 6 between those. So not 2, 5, not 3, 4. Have to have 1 and 6. If I got 6 there, I couldn't have 2, 3. So 6 goes with 1, 4, and I need 8 there. So 2, 6, or 3, 5. Are they both options? 6, 1, 4. I'll put them both in. 2, 6 I've already got. Can't have a 5 in the 10 cage, so 3 and 5 that way round. 7, 1, 3. And either 4, 5 or 2, 7. In fact, I'm getting lots of options here. 8, 1, 2, total of 10, which could be 3, 7 or 4, 6. So 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 7, 5, 8, 4, 6. Yeah, either way will work. So 3, 7 or 4, 6. Right, that was probably not the most fruitful exercise. Can't have a 7 there, because I've got a 7 there. Can't have the 3 there that would have gone with it. So 4, 6 or 8, 9. Maybe that's something we can come back to a bit later. Right. So let's see. Let's have a look at this one now. I've got 41 there, so these two are going to be 4 more than this one. Right. So that could be quite interesting. In fact, I've done it once before. I know it is quite interesting. Right. Just trying to look for anything else. Is there anything else I can spot more easily? I'm sure I eliminated something in this 10 cage early on last time round. Anyway, let's do some candidate. I will come back to that quite shortly. The 9's one of those two, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but not a 6 there. So I've got a total of 15 between those three. Right, what could we have? So 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. So what's interesting at the bottom here is I've got one of the 1 and 2 in here. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, that's 6 numbers. I've got 5 out of the 6 there. So I've got to have a 1 or a 2. And I've got to have a larger number to go with it. I can't have both a 1 and 2. So let's consider what we could put here. Well, I can't have both a 1 and 2. So I couldn't have a 9 there. Could I have 8 there? So 8 there will give me 1 and 3 here. It'll mean 5 and 7 there. But if I look at this, these two are 4 more than this one. So 8, 1, 3, 5, 7. I'd need 4 and 8 there. So I can't rule it out yet. Okay, that wasn't as easy as I was hoping. Let's have a look. Let's try a 1 there. If I have a 1 here, it means I've got 1 and 5 in this cage. So that's 6 cages, 1 and 5. In fact, what we could do is have a look at some cells or some cages. I've got a 12, a 6 and a 6 there. So 12 plus 6 plus 6 is 24. 24 is 21 less than 45. So those 4 are 21 more than this one. If I got 1 there, then... sorry, those 4 are 21 more than this one. I might have just said that wrongly. So 1 plus 21 is 22. Remember, I cannot have both the 4 and the 5 in this set of cells. So I could have one or other, but not both, because it would take up both options for this 6 cage. So the smallest I could have here is 3, 4, 7, 8. 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 8 is 22. I'd have to have 1 and 5. With a 1 there, I'd have to have 1 and 5 here. So 1, 5, 3, 4, 7, 8. I'd have 2 and 9 there. What else what else would I have? 1, 2, 9. So remembering that these are 4 more than this, I want a total of 5 there. But this pair is 1 and 5, so I need a 1 there and a 4 there. Right. So that means I'll tell you what this means now. 3. That one will be a 4. 3, 4, 7, 8. That's the only place for a 4. So 1, 4. I've got 3, 4, 7, 8 there. So that one must be the 4. One more thing to remember, and I will be referring to this again. This 24 cage is 6 cells. So it's missing 3 digits out of the possible 9 that add up to 21. If you think of the set of digits that add up to 21, we got 4, 8, 9, 5, 7, 9, or 6, 7, 8. So 4, 8, 9, 5, 7, 9, 6, 7, 8. Each one contains 1 of 6 and 9. So that means this 24 cage must be missing 1 of 6 and 9. So it must contain 1 of 6 and 9. It must be missing 1 of 6 or 9. The 1 of 6 and 9 that it contains are either this one or this one. So I know this or this is 6 or 9. But with 1 there, I've got 1, 4. So I must have 9 there. I've got 3 there. But that would give me a 5. In fact, it'd give me 3 there and 4 there. I beg your pardon. 3 there, 4 there, 9 there. So 3, 4, 8, 9. But it would also... Sorry, 3, 4, 7, 8. So 3, 4. I'd have 7 and 8 here. Right. I thought something didn't work out when I tried this last time round. In fact, we can continue, or can we? Right. So yeah, that was 9. 4, 3. In fact, that is a problem, isn't it? That's a problem straight away, because I've got 3, 4, and 9 there. So with 3, 4, 7, 8 for my 22, I've got to have 4 there. I've got to have 9 there. So just the fact I've got 4 and 9 there. Remember, this triple were 3, 5, 9 or 4, 5, 8. So 1 there means 1, 4, 9. And then a 4 there. The only place I could have the 4 out of this set is there. So 9 and 4. I cannot have both a 9 and a 4 there. So 1 there, 1, 4, 9. And 4 there, 9 and 4 not possible. So that's not a 1. And I'm going to try the same again on a 2 there. So 4 more than 2 here. Once again, 2 and 4, the 2 must be one of those 2. So 2 or 4 there, they must be 2 and 4. That must be a 9 again. What values have I got here? Well, I want a total of 23 now. So since they are 21 more than this, I want a total of 23 there, but cannot use both the 4 and the 5. So I was on 3, 4, 7, 8 for 22. I could have 3, 4, 7, 9 or 3, 5, 7, 8. Okay, but I must have 2 and 4 here. The only place I can put 2 in this column is this one. in that cage there. So for this one, I can't use a 4. So 3, 5, 7, 8. I've got to have 3, 5, 7, 8 between those. I've got 2 and 4 there. So once again, I need a 9 there. So 3, 5, 7, 8. So remember the 9 there will have to go with 3 and 5 between those two. And 7 and 8 between those. So 2, 2, 4 there, 2, 4 there. 9 there, 3, 5, 7, 8. So I need an 8 in this 38 cage. So with a 9 there, the only place for a 9 in the 38 cage is this one. So what happens there? I've got 15 between those three. 9, 2, 4. So I've got a 2 there. I'm supposing I've got a 2 there already. So I must have a 4 there and a 2 there. So 9, 4... and 2 there. I must have a total of 12 between these. I'd have to have 5 and 7. So with 9 there and 4 there, 5 and 7 are the only ones I could use to make that 4 up to 12. Up to 16. To add 12 to the 4 to make it up to 16. So I then have 2... In fact, I couldn't have 5 or 7 anyway, because it's not a possibility for this cell. So I was going to say I'd taken all the options for the 8, but 9, 4, I can't have the 5, 7, I can't have the 4, 8, obviously, and I can't have the 9, 3. So I've come stuck, by having a 9 there and the 9 there, I've come stuck on this 16 cage, so I can't have a 2 there. Right, so what is interesting now then is in this column, in this third column, I can no longer put a 9 in the 12 cage, because having a 3 there will make that up to 12 straight away. So my 9 must be one of these two. That tells us quite a bit. So my 9 isn't one of these two. Also, as I said earlier, 9 must go with 3 and 5. So we can take out 4s and 8s between those 3 cells. And we can take out the 3 from that one. So, what else it also means, what I said earlier is still true. The 24 cage contains 1 of 6 and 9, but not both. The 1 of 6 and 9 it contains must be in this cell. So that one is 6 or 9. I'm going to take stock of that one. Which one do I want to take stock of? Of this one, in fact, because I've got limited options here. So by reconsidering this, I can now take stock of that. So these two are 4 more than this one because they add up to 41. So what could I have then? 3 would have to go with 7, so 6 and 1 and 5. And a total of 9 there, not including 1, 3, 5 or 6, is 2 and 7. So 3, 2, 7... 6, 1. I need 4, 8 there. That still looks possible. So 3, 2, 7, 6, 1, 5. Well, I'll follow through. 8, 3, 5, 9. Yeah, that looks okay. 4 there, I need a total of 8 there. So my 8 will be 6 and 2. So 6, 2. I want a total of 8 there, which isn't 6 and 2. So 6, 2, 4 there. So I could have 1, 7 or 3, 5. I couldn't have 3, 5. In fact, 4 there, 3, 5 would take up all the options for the 12 cage. So 4, 1, 7, 6, 2, 4. So 1, 2, 4, 7 there. So 1, 7 and a 4 there. So I'd have 3 and 9 there. Okay, well, I'll keep going, see if there's anything I can eliminate. So 4 more than 5 is 9. I can't have 9 there, can I? So I can take out a 5 straight away. 4 more than 6 is 12. Well, I've actually got 2 options for that. So I could have 6, 4 or 9, 1. But I'd have to have a total of 6 here. So 1, 2, 4, 5 will go there if I have 6 here. 1, 2, 4, 5. They look like we've got options. 4 more than 7 is 11, which is 6 and 5, and 1, and 2 and 3. Again, that doesn't seem too bad. 8, I need 12 there. I can't have 12 there, can I, by adding 2 of those together? So I can't have an 8 there. I've narrowed down the options somewhat. I'm quite happy with that for now. So let's see what else can I do. Right. If I've got 1 and 4 in this 5 cage, I've got 2 and 8 there. So the 10 won't be a 2 and 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. I've got 3, 5, and 7 between those. Okay, that's possible. Can't rule anything out there. The 24 cage, remember what I said earlier once again, the 24 cage is missing 6, 7, 8, 4, 8, 9 or 5, 7, 9. It must contain a 1, and the one it does contain must be one of those. So that's not a 1, and similarly that's not a 2, because it must contain a 2, which must be one of those. So I've narrowed that down a bit further now to 1 and 2 there. So maybe I should revisit this. So 3 for 6 and 1 is 7. 4 for 6 and 2 is 8. 6 for 9 and 1 is 10. And 7 for 9 and 2... Right. I still seem to have the same set left there. In fact, 4 there, 4... Right, just thinking out loud again. If I've got a 6 there... Sorry, if I've got a 9 there... If I've got a 9 there, I know my missing numbers from this 24 cage are 6, 7, 8. In fact, I wonder how helpful that is. If I've got a 9 there... Those two are 7 and 8 then, because they're the missing numbers from the 24 cage. Well, 6, 7, 8 are the missing numbers from the 24 cage. So it means no 7s or 8s here. So 9 and 1 for 10 and 6 there. I wouldn't have anything as big as 7 or 8 anyway. 9, 1, 2, 4, 9, 2, 7. In fact, 9, 2 and 7... I'd need 1 and 4 there, but I need to have a 4 there as well. So I can rule out 7 as an option for that one. So I'm left with 3, 4 and 6. Is there anything else I can rule out? So 3, 6, 1, 5, 2, 7. In fact, we can rule that one out, can't we? So 3... would force me to have a 6 there, and a 7 and 8... No, I'm talking nonsense, I apologise. So 3, 6, 1, 5. I'd have 2 and 7 there. And I'd be missing 5, 7, 9 from this 21 cage. Okay, well... Let's move on. Right. What else can I see? So can I eliminate anything from this 10 cage? I feel like I should be doing. if I've got 4 and 6 there, I've got a 1-2 pair there. So that must be a 3. So 3-1 or 3-2. I need 3-1-7-2. 3-1-7-2. 5-8 there. 3-1-7-2. I need a 7 there as well. In fact, I can't have a 7 there, can I? My 7 in this box must be inside the 32 cage, so I couldn't have a 7. Oops, undo that. Couldn't have a 7 in this cell, so my 7 has to be in either the 22 or the 10 cage in this box. But if I've got 4-6 in my 10 cage, I've eliminated the 7 from the 22 cage as well. So this 10 cage is not 4 and 6. So 2, 3, 7, 8. I've got two or three here. I hope the battery will last out for the video, but 2 or 3 there. So 2 or 3 there. That one isn't a 2, so that's 1 or 4. Right. So what else have we got? Well, can I visit this 11 cage again? If I've got 8, 3, 7, 1, 2, 5, 8, 4, 6. Okay. 7, 1, 3, 2, 8, 6, 7, 4, 5, I think that was. 6, 1, 4. So it only leaves me with 1 and 9. In fact, there's 2 and 8 there. So 6, 1, 4, 2, 8, 3, 7, 5, 8. 6, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3, 7, 5, 6 there. So that looks okay. Right. So anything else jumping out? So 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. In fact, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. I've got 5 different numbers in the cells there. I also need 6, 8, or 9 in this 10 cage. It's not 3 and 7. So 3, 5, 6, 8, 9 are 5 of those 6 cells. So I can't have a 6 in this 11 cage, which means my 6 in this box is one of those 2. So let's rule out a 6 from any of those. 6 from those 2, and not the 4 there that would have gone with the 6. Right, does this help here? I can only have I can't have 4 there now, because I've got 1 and 3 maximum to go with it. 5, 2, 4, that's possible. Okay, well, that's something. So I've got 26 cage there. Obviously, that can't house a 1, because I can have at most 7, 8, 9 with it. Right. It's a lot harder when you're talking about it than it is when you're just doing it, I'll tell you that. 2, 3, 7. So looking at this one again, 2, 3. Well, let's have a look what happened. I've got limited options for these 2. If I've got 2, 8 there, I've got 1, 3, 4 to choose from there. I can't have 3 and 4 because I need another 4 to go with it. So 2, 8, 1, and 3 or 4 there, but I'd have 6 or 7, 6 and 7 there. So 2, 8, 6, 7, 1. 3, 2. Right. Yeah, so that's 3 or 4. 2, 8, 6, 7. 1 there. Or 3, 7, 5, 8, 2, 3. Right. Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. 1. Right. So perhaps what I should also be doing, look at this 32 cage. I'm moving around a bit. If I consider this 32 cage, again, it's a cage of size 6 with 3 digits missing that add up to 13 now. What digits could I be missing from this one? I'm not missing a 9. I know that the position on row 2 where the 9 goes is somewhere inside this 13 cage, this 32 cage. So I'm not missing a 9. I could be missing an 8 and a total of 5. Maybe the total of 5 that's there. I must have a 7 in that cage, mustn't I? In fact, I am missing an 8. Yeah, I've got to have an 8 on the bottom row of that box. So the 32 cage is missing 8 along with 2 and 3 or 1 and 4. So this number and this number are the ones that go on the bottom row, match the bottom row here. The other two that aren't the 8 on the bottom row there. So I'm not going to have 1 or 2 on this bottom row. So let's take out 1 and 2 from this one. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So 3, 4, 5 or 6. And 3, 5 or 9. Yeah, so those... So we're missing those, whichever pair we got there, and an 8. And these two are 2 of the 3 on the bottom row, and the 8 joins them on the bottom row of that. Do we get into trouble? If I've got 2 and 3 there, do I get into any trouble? Because that means 2 and 3 are the ones missing from the 32 cage, so no 3s there. So my 3 in that row would have to be a 7. Would have to be there, sorry. 3 and to go with 7 in the 10 cage. So that's interesting. If I've got 1 and 4 there, then those two are 1 and 4. Those two are 2 and 8. So that means whether I've got 2, 3 or 1, 4 there, I've got 3, 7 there. So I'll go through this again. If I've got 2 and 3 there, then my 3, the only place I've got for a 3 in this row is that one. So 3 and 7 that way round. If I've got 1 and 4 there, then these two must be 1 and 4. These two must be 2 and 8. And that eliminates 2 and 8 from the 10 cage. So the 10 cage is 3, 7. This pair are 5 and 8. So no 5 there. No 5 and 8 there. That's not a 3. So 2 and 3 that way round. No 7s there, so that's that one. No 3 there. So 1, 2, 4, 6 between those 4. Right, so... Well, that's probably helps a bit. So 5 I could have 2, 4. 6 I could have 1, 4. And 8 I could have 2, 1. Okay, still got options there. So, right. I was getting a bit excited with that. So I feel like I should be able to reduce this one, this 10 cage a bit now. If I've got 4 there, then I need a 4 there and a 6 there. And 1, 2 and 8. In fact, I can't do that, can I? 4 there, 6 there and 8 there. Because this has to be the... I would then have a 4 inside the 32 cage. So that would have to be my corresponding one on the bottom row there. So 4 there, and 6 goes with 4 to make 10. And then it leaves 1, 2, 1 and 8 there. So I'd only be left with 5 and 7 between those 3. So we can't have that. So that can't be a 4, therefore it's a 6. So not a 6 there, not a 4 there. And in fact, it only leaves that one for the 6 in that box, doesn't it now? So that's a 6. So these add up to 5. They must be 4 and 1 to make up to 11. So that's a 2. That's an 8. Let's do away with the 8s there. 3, 5, 6, 9 left. So whichever one of 3, 5 or 9 is there goes on that, joins the 6 on that one. I'm still not sure whether I'm excluding a 2, 3 or a 1, 4 from this. So what else can I do? So 2, 6, 9. Right. I've got to have a 1 and a 3 here, so I don't have a 3 in this 26 cage. It could be 2, 7, 8, 9, no 3s, 4 and a total of 22. Right. Okay, options. In fact, I can't have a 6 there, can I? Or the 4 there that would have gone with it. So is that helpful? So I've got 30 there with 2 or 3. So these two add up to 12 or 13. Well, I'll put in the can at least 3, no 1s or 2s. Right, if that's 2, 3 then, the only place for a 2 in this column will be there. Well, I suppose it's still possible. Right, what else? I can't have a 3 there because I have a 2 there. In fact, I can't have 3s there because I have to have a 2 with it, and I need 10 to make up the 15. So let's take those out. Right. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I've got a quintuple there. So only do 1, 2, 3 for the remaining spaces on this row 6. Let's put those in. So I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in this box. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But no 6 there, no 9 there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in fact, that only leaves me a 1 there. So that's a 1. So I can take the 1 out of this one. Right, so how are we doing now? So there's a 9 as one of these in the 24 cage. All right, so that one isn't a 9 then, is it? So with maximum 8 there, minimum 7 there, could still be 5 and 2. Right, so 1, 4. So what else? 3 5s. So there must be some. Let's do. I must have limited options. Let's populate this 12 cage. So 3 there. These 2 are 4 more than this. So 6 and 1, and a total of 9. Can't be 4 5. Can't be 1 8. Can't be 3 6. Have I missed this one from before? So 4 more than 6 is 7, which would be 6 and 1 there. So I'd need 9 to make that up to 12. Can't be 1 8 because I've got a 1 there. It could be 2 and 7, couldn't it? It could be 2 and 7, right. 4 there with 6 and 2. I need 8 to make this up to 12. But it couldn't be 3 and 5 because I'd take too many options from this one. So 4 would go with 1 and 7. Or 6, I'd have 9 and 1 there. So I'd have to have 2 and 4. So 1, 2, 4, 7 are all my options for that one. Right, so what else? There must be something else I can see. I can't have an 8 there because I've got one in the column already. Right, so right. I'll try and populate this now. So I've got a 9 there. So 9 and 3. I can't have 5 and 8 for the other 13, or I can't have 6 and 7. Because I've got both 6 and 7 there. I've got both 5 and 8 there. So I can't have a 4 with a 9 in that one. I'm talking nonsense again. 9 and 4, I want 11 there, which could be 3 8 or 5 6. Not 3 8, but 9 4. I could have 5 and 6 that way round. 9 and 7, I want 8 there. Not 1 7, not 2 6, not 5 3, because I've got both 5 and 3 there. I've got both 2 6 there, and I've got 7 there. So that one isn't actually a 7. My 7 must therefore be one of those, and I must have a 7 in the 26 cage. Right. So I've done 9. So I've not done 9 5, have I? 9 5 is 14. I want 12, which has to be 8 and 4. I can't have 8 and 4 because I've got both the 8 and 4 there. So not 9 and 5. So the 5 again is one of those in the 26 cage. So 9 and 8, I want 7 to go with it, but not 4 3, not 1 6. I've got a 1 in both of those. Only needs to be 2 and 5 that way round. So I've got 5 in there now. That's good. In fact, I can't have 2 and 6 there anymore, can I? Because I've got 2 or 6 there. So that's not going to be a 4. Right, so 6 9 1 or 3 6 1. In fact, I could only have a 1 there anyway now. 3 6 1, 6 9 1. So that's a 1 and a 5. So not a 5 there. My 5 in this box goes there. So no 5s there. This must be my 5 here. No 1s there. Right. So 4, 8 and 9 to choose from there. I've got a 4 there, so that's a 9. That's not a 9. But 2, 6, 7 to choose from here. And 1, 3, 4, 8. 1, 3, 4, 8 to choose from for those. Okay, but not 1 there because I've got 1 in that row already. So how do we continue with this? So 1, 2. My 8 must be one of those. So it's not going to be that one in that cage. I've got 3, 9 there. So in fact, I know I've got 7, 8 there. Now that's really good. I can't have a 7 or an 8 in the 24 cage now. So I know it must be 6 that I'm also missing from the 24 cage. Because 6 plus 7 plus 8 is 21. So I'm missing 6 from the 24 cage. So that one's going to be a 9. So 4 less than 10 is 6 there. So those two are 2 and 4. So I've got a 4. Can't have 4 and 8. Can't have 9 either. So 7, 5. Not a 5 there or a 4. So 3, 6 and 8 for those. But I've got a 6 there. So 6 in that one. And 3 and 8. And not 8 there. So 1, 2, 4 left for the column. But I've got a 1 in that box already. So that's 2 and 4. So where does that put us next? I've got a 6 there. So I don't want a 6 in either of those. So my 6 in this 38 cage must be this one. My bottom row one here, this one must match this one. So 3 or 9, must have 3 or 9 there. So my 3 or 9, I've got 3 and 9, I've got 7 in that cage already there. So that's a 5. So I can take 5 out of all these. So that plus that is 10 to make those 3, 15 to make up to 45. So that one is 7 or 8. 4, 7, 8 triple. Well, yeah, that's fine. 4, 7, 8 triple. So 7, 8. I've got 2, 3 or 4 left to go in this box. So what else does that bring? I've got 6 there, so not a 6 in that one. I don't have 2 and 6 in this 8 cage. Right, so what could I have here? I can't have a 3 or 9 there because I'd have a deadly pattern. So I could have 1, 2, 4 or 7. They're the only ones I could, once I exclude the 3 and the 9 for the deadly pattern. In fact, the 9 I couldn't have in the 16 cage. Couldn't put it there because I've got at least a 7 to go with it. The only place I could have a 9 in this column is there, and a 3 to go with it, and a 9 there. Right. So I'm still not clear whether I've got 1, 4 or 2, 3 there. Which I'm a bit surprised. I would have thought that would have been a bit more obvious earlier on. I've got 6 in that column, so that can go. So I've only got one place for a 6 in this box now, there. So what have I got in this 17 cage? I could have 1, 3 and... I must have a 1, so 1, 3 and 4, 9. Because I can't have 6, 7 or 8, 5. 1 and 4, I want 12. 5, 7, can't have 5, 7 as those two. Because I've got 5, 7 there. But could have 3, 9. Or 1, 8 is 9. I want a total of 8 there. Which will be 3, 5. I've got a 5 on the bottom, so I'd have to have the 5 on the top. Okay, so... only these be 2 places for a 7 in that column. Right, what could I have here? So 7 and those two add up to 8, so... in fact, I couldn't have a 7 there, could I? I couldn't have 6. 6 has gone. Couldn't have 7. Sorry, I could have a 7. 7, I want a total of 9 there. Can't have 2, 7. Can't have 3, 6. I can't have 4, 5. But I could have 1, 8. So 7, 8, 1. 8 there, total of 8 to go with it. I couldn't have 6 and 2. I couldn't have 5 and 3. I'd have to have 8, 7, 1. In any case, I've got a 1 there. Got 3 and 5 there. So once they go, that's 4 and 9. So I need 1 and 3 to make that up to 17. So that's not a 3. 4, no 4 there, no 1 there. So I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple. So 5 and 7 between those two, but I've got a 5 there. So 7 and 5. So not a 5 there. That's an 8, that's a 5. Not an 8 there. So the 8 in this box must go there. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, not a 3 there. So 1, 2, 4, 7. Right, what could I have here? In fact, I've got 7, 8 there. That one's a 4. So let's do away with the 4s there. 7, 8 pair there. So that one's a 9. 7, 8. I've got 7. I've got 1. So these two are 2 and 4 between them. They're not, sorry. Let's undo that. I'm talking nonsense. These two are 3 and... are they 2 and 3? They have the 2 and 3 between them, aren't they? Right. I'll put them both. I forgot what I had to start with, but I've got 2 and 3 there now. So I now know this 5 cage is 4 and 1. That's a 2. That's a 3. That's a 2. Eliminate the 2 there. So 1, 2, 4 there. That's 7, 3, 7. Right. So I've got a 7 in that cage. So 5 plus 4 plus 8 is 17. And 7 is 24. And 2 to bring it up to 26. So not a 2 there. 4 and 8 there. So that must be a 7 and a 3. No 3s there. 1, 2. Right. So 7 I've got in this row. So 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. So I've got 2 and 4 there. That one's a 3. I've got 2 in the column. So 4, 2. 4 and 8 there. So I've got 14 there. So I could have 6, 4 or 8, 2. 2, 6, 7. I've got a 7 in that row. So 7 goes there. 2, 6. Right. Must have a 9 there. I've got an 8 there. So I've got 3, 8. That must be a 4, 8, 4. And that must be 6 to make it up to 24. So 8 and 9, 7, 8, 9, 2. That's a 4, that's a 2. Right, so I've got an 8 there. So that's 9, 8, 4, 9. So not a 5 there, that's a 3 and a 5 and a 1 and a 3. Okay, wow. That took some doing, even having done it before. But I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoy watching these. And I will see you on the next video.